Hello, I'm Ben Goodman. I'm a SeymourU.ca radio host. I currently host a wrestling radio show, and that's always been one of my passions. Another passion I've liked to start is business. I like to be a better businessman. So I decided to go to the Bassett Networking Day, which happens at the Bassett School of Business here at Mount Royal. I actually heard there's a special keynote speaker, so why don't we check out to see what I found out.
I just checked in and got a stamp.
You know, I just bumped into someone, and they thought it was Bret Hart. Like, what? I'm so excited to go to this lunch. They just go right now. I'm so excited. Wrong room.
Please assist me in welcoming Bret Hart, our keynote speaker for EMB 2019.
Hey, I'm here with Bret the Hitman Hart. This is a true honor. This is great. I attended the Canadian Stampede pay-per-view in '97. I've been a fan for so long. This is a true thrill for me. Yes, I am. So, how did the wrestling business set you up for like entrepreneurship and branding?
Well, in a lot of ways, you know, I was in the eye of the hurricane in the sense that WWF and Vince McMahon and all that power of making a brand it's such a big machine. It does all that, from T-shirts to pictures to the wrestling shows, but ultimately you're the product. And I think in my case, I was always conscious of the product, as I am now. Like I always, you know, once you start to believe in yourself, say as a hero or a television hero too, and people look up to you and have this regard for you, you know, you start to take pride in that, and you know, and in your career and how your career goes and the success that you have, all those things start to manifest inside yourself. And I try to stress today when I talk to everyone that how important it is to really believe in yourself and to believe you're better than people. That I never thought I got handed anything. I think I got handed. When I became world champion, I got that handed to me because I was the best man for the job, and that was when I really started to believe in my product, like in what I was. And you take this pride in that, and you know, and everything that you do from that point on, from whether it's Hitman hockey or whether it's being an Aladdin in a theatrical play in Toronto, or you know, a movie part, or you know, you want to do. I always never want to say I was the best at all those things, but I always want to say I put in a good effort, and did a good job, and held my own. You know, and you start to take pride in all those things, and I think that's the thing I try to stress today is you got to believe in your character.
Well, that's great. What's kind of a most exciting kind of networking story you've had in your career and life? And
well, I think networking. You know, as an example, I think the tie-in that I had with junior hockey was always been. You know, it's been a good rub both ways. I mean, I was very proud in the beginning to be asked to be part of the ownership, and it was Theo Flurry that came up with the idea name and the Hitman. And I remember going, "That's a great idea," and you know, I was always have been and always will be proud of the players that were part of the Hitman back when I was an owner, and the other owners that I was involved with. And when they wanted out, I didn't want out. I was really happy with. And I believe that my association with the team was a very positive one, and was helped reach out to an audience that maybe would bypass junior hockey and a new franchise. And I don't know. I'm just saying that, that was a good merger of two different universes mixing together, and I've always been proud of that, and just in ways that with me, I've had a few different things come up with like action figures, T-shirts, marketing and merchandising of your name, books. Your images, like pictures, like you'd be surprised at how many pictures of myself that I own. It's a very small number. Everything I owned, all my career, all the videos and films of my matches and documentaries have been done on me, but it's like I don't own any of that. And I've been lucky in the sense that the documentary that was done on me, I think, painted me in a very positive light, if not a very gallant kind of light.
I would agree.
And I've always been grateful for that. But I'm the same as the documentary. That's the real person you see there walking, and that's who I was, and I'm proud of who I was, and I stand by all the things I've done. I don't know if it's a good lesson for anybody to leave a big company knowing you're going to punch out your boss and knock him out cold. If you ever have the chance, go for it. But it's a great feeling that can come with that, and a lot of, there's also a lot of repercussions and things like that.
Oh, totally. So what is like the most kind of difficult decision you've made in your career?
Oh, well, probably it's very simple.
Yeah.
I remember I was, when they first talked to my dad about buying Stampede Wrestling and taking over, and my dad said, they want to talk to you. So I went and talked to him, and they said, we want you to come to New York, and you're going to be a big star at WWF and all that stuff. And I said, I don't want to go to New York and just be a opening match guy. He goes, no, you're going to be a big star. And I'm like, not believing it. I'm like, all right, so I'm going to get booked. I get booked.
Yeah.
And I'm nobody for at least 6 months. And finally, one day they come in. I'm either getting ready to get fired or I'm getting ready to quit. I'm making more money than I ever made working for my dad, U.S. dollars, and so I'm making some money. But I just know they're going to pull the plug on me any day. And so they come up to me and say they got this great idea. Cowboy Bret Hart. You sell a box with a horse in the box. Bret Hart, the cowboy hat and the chaps. I was going to be like the rhinestone cowboy.
Yeah.
I was going to have a cowboy hat that lit up and all this stuff. And I remember they got me all excited about it. And I was like, yeah, I remember walking out, Cowboy Bret Hart. Yeah. And I got in the car with Jim the Anvil, and I remember like laughing. They kept laughing about it. And Jim would look at me and burst out laughing and go, I can't get over Cowboy Bret Hart and all this stuff. And then I started thinking about it, like, because I was going to ride a horse in and out of the building every night, all the way up to the ring, get off, jump off, and Yahoo and all this stuff. And I could never ride horses or anything. I just had knee surgery and stuff. Thought of jumping off my horse and being that, glib with horses and stuff like that. I just knew I said, I'm going to do this really. I'm going to come across a guy that's definitely not a cowboy. And they kind of razzed me about it all the way up and back. The point that Jim Neidhart was in tears a couple of times. And I remember it was the biggest break that anyone had ever offered me. And I remember knocking on my boss's door. It was a guy named George Scott. He was Vince's right-hand guy as far as the booking and all that went. And he said, I remember he answered the door. He couldn't believe it was about 1 in the morning. He's in his underwear or whatever. And he's like, what do you want? And I was like, I don't want to be a cowboy. So I was just calling and let you know I'm going to pass on the cowboy thing. And he goes, you're kidding me. It's going to be huge. We're going to sell a horse. We could not believe it. It's like we finally throw you a big bone, and you come back and knock on my door at 1 in the morning, and I said, well, I'm not a cowboy. I said, where I come from, you better be a real cowboy if you're going to be on TV. And I said, people know I'm not a cowboy, and I'm going to make a fool of myself. And I remember he kind of felt sorry for me. He said, look, something will come up for you. Don't worry about it. And I said, why don't you tag me up with Jim Neidhart? He's managed by Jimmy Hart. We all got the last name Hart. I made it up on the spot. I said, call us the Hart Foundation. And he goes, you could never be a bad guy. You got the look of a good guy. He goes, it'll never happen. So, but don't worry, we'll come up with something. And so I remember I left walking down the hall thinking, A, relief that I wasn't going to be Cowboy Bret Hart, but also thinking I just blew the biggest chance of my life. And I think that's where you gotta know what's good for yourself sometimes. Trust your gut. And you know, they called me a few weeks later when I thought I was going to get fired. I actually called them and said, I'm going to let you know, I want to know what you're doing with me tomorrow. And I called them in the morning and they said, I said, so what are your plans for Bret Hart and from here on in? And he goes, well, we're going to do exactly what you wanted. We're going to tag you up with Jim Neidhart. You're going to be a bad guy and you're going to be we're going to call you the Hart Foundation. And it was kind of like, okay, like it saved everything for me. And it was, you know, if I'd been Cowboy Bret Hart, I probably wouldn't have been in a flash in the pan for about, maybe lucky if I could have been 6 months or a year, you know, who knows, it wouldn't have lasted. And we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. But because I followed my gut and my heart, I stood up in a good way where I opened the door and I had another idea instead. And you know, people, I was just very fortunate that they gave me a chance, and I was able to, you know, keep filling that gap and proving myself as being good at being worthy of climbing that ladder. Because I think in the very beginning, you look at my career, I was on the very bottom of the ladder, very bottom of the barrel, the last guy you ever thought was going to be a big star in wrestling. Bret the Hitman Hart for CMRU.ca, by students, for you.